Hitting you with hits every day. MZ Radio London, station on the hill. MZ Radio London, no one does it better.
MZ Radio London, bringing you closer to God. MZ Radio London, in the mix.
MZ Radio is a spirit-filled online radio station to enrich people with godly truth by means of music and sound word of God. Please stay tuned for your programs ranging from various genres of Christian music and messages.
One thing that is guaranteed, your life will not remain the same as you listen to our programs.
The Bible says, upon Mount Zion, there shall be deliverance, holiness, and you will possess your possessions. In Jesus' name, amen.
Love God, love the gospel, stay fleeky and stay tuned.
My name is Pastor Joke Odejayi of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Mount Zion. Enjoy the radio program and be blessed by it in Jesus' name.
Searchlight with Joy on AP Radio UK, Heart Song Live Radio, and MZ Radio London.
Hello. Welcome to another Monday of Searchlight with Joy on MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK, and also Heart Song Live Scotland. Yes, you're welcome to another beautiful Monday. It's such a beautiful Monday here. The weather is beautiful, and what not to be happy about today, okay? Hello, Penny.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Good to see your face again after such a long time.
Oh, I know, it's been ages.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. So today, like I usually do, I like to walk, people through. If you're watching on Facebook for the first time or you're listening via the radio app for the first time, I just like to walk you through what Searchlight is all about. Okay, it's a show that captures the essence, the events, the lifestyles, the endeavors of the music ministry and the music ministers. This show looks at events of the music ministry as they happen, and also events in the music ministry that has happened in the past. We talk about so many things that has to do with the music ministers, their lifestyle, their fashion sense, their healthy and unhealthy lifestyles. We also bring to you close with some of the music and music ministers, finest and anointed gospel music ministers that are doing exploits in the world today. We bring, their music to you, music that are trending all over the world, blessing lives, and music that people want to hear always. So we bring them to you, and also some old evergreen songs that as gone out, they just gone out of the radar. People can hear those songs again. We try to bring them to your memories, to your listening pleasures. Okay, so we started a series last week titled What Music Producers Wish Every Singer, should know before coming, to produce their song or to record your songs. And today I have with me somebody very dear to me, a beautiful producer. And we're just going to go straight to what we have today. But before we go into that, we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Don't touch the dial. I'll be right back.
Searchlight with Joy on
AP Radio UK.
Heart Song Live Radio.
and MZ Radio London.
Okay, so you're welcome back to Searchlight with Joy on MZ Radio London, AP Radio UK, and Heart Song Live Scotland. Yes, like I said, I have here with me a very good friend of mine, a brother of mine, is a producer, someone that I've worked with, and it's such a beautiful soul. It's such a beautiful soul. So it's my pleasure to have him here today. So, Femi Dada, you're
Thank you,
welcome
Joy.
once again.
Hey, how far? How are you?
I did. Okay, so let's get to meet you. I've known
Sure.
you personally, but I want the world to know you. So, who is Femi Dada?
Sure. I am a music composer, record producer, music director, and I'm also, a musician and instrumentalist, and a consultant actually as well. I'm a music consultant. So yeah, I've been doing music for pretty much all my life. Right from the age of 5, I used to play drums. I picked up other instruments along the way. Even in secondary school, I played instruments. And yeah, till now. So yeah, that's me. I've produced a few artists here in the UK. One that's probably noticeable will probably be Nikki Seriki. I've worked with loads of different producers, other people. I've worked with people like Evan Tagoye. I've worked with people like Tunji Dairo here in the UK. I've worked with Mike Aaron before in the past. I've worked with Diabello. I've worked with, different people here and abroad. So yeah. And also I used to, I've also taken part in writing music for theatre as well in the past, and for TV and film.
Wow, that's a whole lot. Well done, bro. Only you. Okay. Okay, so the title of the series, is saying what every music producer wish, singers, should know before coming, to produce the song. So let's start with, with this. What is really the role of a music producer in the production process? There is the before the production, there's the pre-production process.
Yes, absolutely.
There is the post-production, pre-production, production, and then post-production. But let's start. What is really the role of the music producer in the whole process?
Sorry, let me just open it a bit darker. Well, so for me, I believe the role of a music producer is the technical / project manager for the whole releasing of a record. So that person is really the person, responsible for delivering a record to commercial release. So, they may choose to wear many hats, which sometimes we do. So we take on the role of being a songwriter, writing the music or writing the lyrics or writing the song itself, to even playing, which is, the musician's aspect of it, or even being an arranger, and different roles, or even mixing, at least in terms of post-production, we can take on the role of, mixing the record or mastering the record. But the bottom line is the role of a music producer is somebody that takes a song or takes what the artist presents and make sure that they can put that out in such a way that it's ready for commercial release. How they get that done is a whole different ballgame. Whether they do it themselves, whether they hire a list of people to do it, doesn't matter. Their job is to bring that product out, period.
Interesting. Okay, I like what you said. You said it doesn't matter if they're the ones, doing it themselves, but the end game, the end result is what really,
what matters.
Okay,
absolutely.
So, now, because I've had experience, not let me not say experience, not me. Okay, so I've been in the studio where an artist came in and was like, giving direction, this is what should be done, this is what I want here, this is what you have to do it the way I want, and so it's bringing me now to my next question, which is, who is in charge of the production? Like I said, because I've seen artists come in and they want to be, authoritarian, like adversarial, that kind of attitude towards the producer. And, that doesn't really work. Yes, they are the ones that, you're coming with your project, but I want everyone to know, like singers listening out there, singers should know this is your role, this is the role of the producer and all of that. So who's really, really in charge of the production process?
Cool. So to be honest, to buttress your point, yes, the artist in a sense is, if the artist is the one who's sponsoring the record, in a sense of, that means they're the one paying for the record, then yes, at the end of the day, it's the artist is the one who owns the record, but the producer is the one in charge of the production process. He's the one he or she is the one that's meant to direct the whole entire process. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of artists, like you said, I've worked with artists as well that have come to me with that kind of mindset that, oh, I want this, and this. And it's true, you can come with your ideas, which is great. And that's what producers expect. They expect the artist to come with something, not to just come empty-handed. But the joy of having a producer is somebody who understands, music to a very high degree in terms of arrangement, sonic palette, in terms of, okay, what instruments can I add together? Should I put a guitar here? Should I layer a guitar or layer a piano? Just different textures. And then obviously that's on the musical side. Then on the side of sonics, how does everything sound? Is the vocal going to be on top of the mix? Or is it going to be the kind of vocal that sits within the mix? So I believe for artists to really get the best out of the producers, they need to work with them. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I just got a call there. The best way, to get the best of both worlds, really, the artist really should work with the producer and have to hear what they have to say and how they feel a process should go. And to be honest, I always take it back to like this process. I feel a producer is a midwife in respect to a baby being born, whereas the artist is the mother. Now, obviously, the baby shouldn't be looking like the producer, right? Because the baby, unless the midwife was involved in something they shouldn't be involved in. But the baby should look like the artist. That's a
good word.
The baby should look like the artist, but the midwife's job is to make sure, okay, how are we going to deliver this thing in the best way possible? That's why, with most mothers, they listen to the midwife. They listen to the midwife, because obviously the midwife has been on that process before, whereas the mother may not have been. So it's like listening and not coming with this attitude of, okay, I know. Because I've seen producers that have had sessions like that, whereby the artist comes in and tries to control everything, and the end product is trash. It was not that great because they didn't listen. They didn't want to. And because this is the thing, everybody has their skill set. And I believe artists obviously are able to convey a message, but the producer is also able to, I know we say in Nigeria packaging, the producer is able to package that message in such a way that people can receive it. So it's, it's about listening and working, and also vice versa for the producers as well. The producer should come with the attitude of, this is how I want it to be done, because at the end of the day, you're not the one paying for the record. You're being hired to do a job. So it's everyone understanding their roles and responsibilities and respecting that.
Beautiful. What's the word I want to use? Okay, so in a situation.
Sorry, I'm still here. I think my phone went funny.
Okay. So in a situation where an artist, comes in and like, okay, you've done the song before, almost done with the old song and everything, and then you've given like, okay, I'm almost done, but go listen to it, and tell me what you feel. And then the artist went away, maybe took about 2-3 weeks, and then came back to say, I think it's okay, but I think I need an adjustment and set in place. I think you can please tweak this or add another bar to it,
Okay.
and all of that. What do you do? Is it right to do?
So but at what point does the artist ask these questions or ask for these adjustments?
Okay, so say for instance, you have you're almost let's say 85% done.
Oh, no. So for me personally, I have stages. So like even when people come to work with me, I would never release it. I will never produce a record in a week. I'm not that kind of producer. I know there are producers that do that, but my production process is a very detailed process that takes time, because in every single step, for example, pre-production, I will have to get approval by the artist before we even move into recording, which is production itself. So at every stage, the artist is, because then again, we have to, like I said, going back to my point, we have to understand that we're not working, the producer is not about the producer showing skill and showing bravado. If you're producing a record for an artist, it's about making sure that record carries the vision of the artist, period. Amongst every musical prowess level you may have or any idea you want to, impose, it's about that. But to go back to your point about an artist coming back and say, "Oh, can we try this here, try that there?" I thought the producer would be blamed for that, because you should be carrying the artist along in the whole in the whole entire production process. So from the time the song is ready, before it even goes into mixing and mastering, you get approval. It's okay. This song is done now. What are your thoughts? Because me, I work very collaboratively with my artists. I even hear what they have to say, because sometimes they have ideas as well that they want to implement in a song, and we add that. We try, and if it doesn't work, then I use wisdom. I say, okay, I'm not sure that's going to really work, and they trust my judgment, because obviously we're working together, and it's not like, oh, I'm your senior or she's my senior. We're working together to try and achieve a goal, which is your goal should be this, and this is how we're going to get there. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. Okay. Still, I'm still coming back to that.
Okay.
So, I don't think you've answered it, perfectly. Okay. So this is it. You, let's say for instance, before, during the pre-production, process, you guys talk. This is how I want it to go. This is the sound. Something like this, and then you did the first, process, production and everything. Let's say 70%. And then, okay, because you send back and forth. Okay, I've done to an extent. Listen to this. What do you think? Do you? And then this person comes back to say, I still think there's something missing. I still think you should tweak this or add this element, remove this, or there's something, I got an inspiration while listening to it, and I want you to add another bar or 2 more bars to it. And all of that.
Yeah, that's fine. If that's still in the pre-production process, that's not a problem. But what I always encourage artists to do is, if we're working on a song together, send me references of what you're thinking. So references in the sense of, okay, musically, I want it to sound like, for example, maybe the sonic clarity or the sonic soundscape of Sinach, or you want it to sound like maybe Tasha Cobbs, or you want it to sound like, I don't know, maybe a Timmy Dakolo record. There needs to be, this is where I feel sometimes as artists and producers, there's miscommunication, because the expectation is not clear. We don't know, we may not understand what you want, and you two may not understand what we're trying to also deliver, because it's not clear. So I always say at the very beginning of a process, what is it that you envision, like sound-wise? Because sometimes it can be a mixture of things. Sometimes, artists will send me, 5 songs. Oh, I want the drums to sound as rough as this. I want the vocals, the BVs to be as big as maybe a Kirk Franklin record, where the BVs are panned hard left, hard right, and they're massive. And I want the bass to be as busy. At least it gives you an idea of what they're thinking. And it's then the producer's the producer's wisdom to then try and like decode what the artist is saying. Because sometimes I've had artists say to me, "Oh, the song is too muddy." What does that mean? So you then have to go through the process of trying to decode what they're saying and asking them questions. When you say muddy, do you mean that it's too heavy in the low mid region? Is there too much information in the low mid region that we can obviously EQ down and make it sound a bit more light? It's understanding, I guess. It's just working with them and trying to understand from the get-go before you go too far in the process. And then I always say, no, this is not right. You try and get that from the very beginning of the project. I hope that answered your question now.
Yes. And that takes me to another question, because I was about going to go today and you actually just make mention of it, because and that was what bettered this series reference, because a lot of singers are not musically inclined. Okay, right. Playing of the instruments, not all singers do that, and therefore they don't have that knowledge, per se. So I had that challenge as well with my producer here in Nigeria, and one of the songs we did, after this, I'm telling you how I came about this series, and I felt like, if I experience this, I know that other people also must have been experiencing this as absolutely. Well. So let's do something about it. Okay, so I got the song, listened to it, and I felt something was not right, and then I went back. So we were like going back and forth, and I'm like, I need you to touch this. I need you to make it look heavy, kind of, And then after everything, it was, okay, are you fine now? And I'm like, yes, this is what I am looking for. No, so now it was like, I think I should have told you from the beginning. That you should come with a reference.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just,
Yes, because if he had done that, I would have, this is, I have maybe I've heard something before that I want this music to sound like. I've had something like this. Okay, this is how I want this thing to sound like, or something close to this. So, and I'm like, wow, that was the first time, I really heard that. Like, you should.
Right, to be honest, part of the problem is this, and I won't say I blame the producer, but sometimes the process has to be a journey. I feel like sometimes as producers, we take on work and it's about, let me just get this work done and move on. Like, anyone that works with me knows that when the first session, we're probably going to talk more than we're going to actually get any music. We're going to talk a lot because I need to understand your mentality. I need to understand the kind of person that you are. And in the place of me talking to you, we will then understand who you like, who you listen to, who are the artists that influence you. And by doing that, you start to cover a picture of, okay, this artist that I'm talking with, I'm going to work with now, I know that they like Nathaniel Bassey. They like, like I said before, maybe Tim Dakolo sound, or they like Asha, or they like all different kind of artists, or they like William McDowell. It starts to give you an understanding of what sound that they're used to. Yeah. And this is part of the problem. I feel like we rush projects so much that it's and get in the studio and record. Yeah, but that works for someone who's super experienced. Like, if you're super experienced and you know exactly how to articulate what you want, then fair enough, you may not need to do all that. But I believe, and what I've seen is the greatest records that have ever been made, coming from whatever genre, had a process where there was collaboration, where there was understanding, where, even as a producer, I feel like you need to make the artist so comfortable in that environment that you're recording that they can easily bring out things they will normally bring out. So it's in that stage of that first session, whether here, whether in the studio with you, you are getting all that information. It's the job of the producer to find that. It's not, I won't say it's the artist's responsibility to decode, to say all that, because they're the ones that's come to do the job, but you taking on that role, you know what you need. It's like saying, I expect them to give me what I need from day one. No, if they don't give you what you need, you ask. You ask for it. And that makes one, because as a producer, you're meant to, you're the person that coming to deliver a record. So there's obviously a level of experience that comes with the job. So you'd obviously know that, okay, I need to get all this information before I even go continue anyway. Or I cannot deliver what you have come to me to deliver, right? I can't deliver what you have come to me, what you have brought to me for me to deliver, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. And I think if all producers would do this, it will make the job, easier, for the singers.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, not all singers are, musically, inclined, Yes, sometimes they understand that this is the kind of sound I want, but they don't know
how to say it,
yes, it's a reference to something else that I've heard before. So, I think that's really key. Okay, we're gonna take a short break quickly.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. So if you're watching on Facebook or you're listening via the radio app, I hope you're getting one or two things out of this. I am being blessed and inspired as well because, no man is an island, okay? You can't know it all. So that's why we're doing all of this. So we're going to take a short break quickly and I'll be right back as we play you one of the songs Femi has produced, titled Love Real. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Always will. My praise has always been real. I am not proud of some things I've said or things I've done. Through the years, my ways have not always been clean, a path well run. But I've loved you, still love you. I've loved you. Lord, I've loved you, still love you. I've loved you and always will. My praise has always been real. It is true, I may have been overwhelmed and laid down low. Through the years, I may have cried some tears with no faith to show. But I've loved you, still love you. I loved you and always will. I've loved you, still love you. I love you and always will. My praise has always been real.
Searchlight with Joy on AP Radio UK.
Heart Song Live Radio.
And MZ Radio London.
Yes, you are welcome back to Searchlight with Joy on MZ Radio London. We're also on AP Radio UK and also on Heart Song Live Scotland. So wherever you're watching from, I hope you are definitely enjoying yourself, and I'm still right here with my friend and my brother, Femi Dada. Okay, so Femi, we've been talking about reference. Okay, and I want to ask, is it always ideal, for an artist to have a reference of what they want to do, So what if they don't have no reference, but just feel something is not just right, and they seem not to be able to articulate what they want? How else can they be helped?
Well, to be honest, I guess, yes, I can understand sometimes some artists don't want to use references, or they don't even know a reference, but just feel it in their spirit that, this is. Then I guess it just goes back to, the producer and the artist just going back and forth until they get it. and trying to, I guess for me, if I was in that position, what I'll be doing is I'll be trying to really understand what the artist is saying. I'll probably presenting examples. So I'll start presenting examples. Is this what you mean? Because so say, for example, is the vocal now, and you say, the vocal is too dry. Automatically, I know that means there's no reverb there, right? Because not everyone knows what reverb is, right? So I can tell people, I'll send you another mix. Let me know if, and I'll just add reverb and just let me know if that's what you're thinking. And they can come back and say, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's no longer dry, it's wet, but it's too big. I know that, okay, maybe the reverb room I'm using is too big. Maybe I need to use, instead of using a massive hall, maybe I need to use a small room. So it's just back and forth. Obviously, I feel like, with, as a producer, it's about being patient, and the end goal should be, I need to find a way to please this artist. Now, I'm not saying go all out of your way and work on the project for 5 years because the artist is not decisive on what they want, but it's about making sure that you can help them with the vision that they have in mind. So that's what it is, presenting different alternatives.
That's really beautiful and nice of you, like you said, being patient, with the artist, because like and I'm still coming back to what I've said before, and in such cases, it's either the what's it called, the artist, not really inclined. Like I said, a lot of music ministers or artists are not musically inclined, and there's a great difference between having to know how to sing and knowing the music itself. So it's so a lot of people just find out that they wake up some one day as a growing up and find that they could sing. They never went to study this professionally, like some of you guys did, so the rudiments of music and all of that. A lot of people, music, artists don't know that. So that's why I feel sometimes they should cut the singers some slack, because they don't know where you're coming from.
Absolutely. But can I say something as well? I would also say artists should also level up as well, and trying to gain knowledge on the industry that they're working in. Like, as you probably know, part of the reason why I'm also a consultant, because I normally speak to a lot of artists and try and guide them on what they should and shouldn't know. And it's about not living in ignorance, in the sense that, okay, I'll give you one example. I'm sorry to cut you, I'll just give you one example, because I know you've got more questions to ask me. Do we understand the business side of music? And when I say, even from let's say, for example, from a spiritual perspective as a Christian, the music business side of it is very important, because it's like when you sow seeds, your song is like a seed that you sow into the ground. When that seed is now harvested, is now ready for you to harvest that seed, how do you collect the profits? How do you collect the harvest? People don't understand. You need to have like your music business in place, like your royalty systems, collections in place, or that harvest will just be there. Or in fact, as it is in the UK now, for example, if you have a song that's been, that's already been distributed, and you haven't done all the PRS or the PPL or the PRO stuff, what will happen is they'll just collect that money that song has made, and they'll give it to the top. No, don't keep it. They'll give it to the top three people that are already charting on the industry, and they get the money. Yeah, now people don't know that, because this is what happens when we don't study the aspects of what we're getting ourselves into.
That's what I meant. They will help you to keep it. They will keep it for themselves. They will help you until you are ready for it. I think we have to come back to talk about the music, the business of music, because
of course
a lot of people don't. That's another series on its own, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because I'm also looking into that, because a lot of people don't know that. And like, for instance, in the UK, US, yes, they have a body for that help artists to do that, but some part of, they don't have that. So I think that's another challenge, but that's not what we're talking about before we debate. Okay, we are going to come back for that, and you definitely will come back for it again. So yes, so like we said, we're still on reference and all of that. Okay, and yeah, so you've been talking about being patient, with your hobbies to go through the process. So for instance, they don't have no reference. It's the job of the producer to patiently walk them through, help them try to bring out that thing, that sound they think they are hearing in their head, and can't bring it out. So, and also not just being patient. I mean, the patient is it's for a certain, I mean, moment,
within reason.
period. You understand?
Yeah, within
reasonable
reason,
time. So you're not just go, okay, because we're patient and we just linger here, stay and just dwell here forever. So the part of the art is to level up, go get some knowledge, and all of that. So let me quickly ask you another question. Sure. Have you ever backed out of any production because of the artist's inability to perform well, articulate what they want? Maybe they're trying to articulate what we want, the kind of sound, they want, and it's like taking forever. Each time you guys, come for a section, they still don't know what they want. And then maybe even after you give them your own suggestion and they're still like, it's not like this is not what I want, this, all of that. And as a result of maybe an attitude or attitude issue on the part of the artist, or an inability to satisfy them. Have you ever had such an experience?
Yeah, I have. So like those kind of scenarios have happened. Like, I guess one I can remember very vividly was I was meant to work with an artist who was probably coming up, but the artist, at least in the UK, for example, she didn't want to pay the fee I had in mind, which is my normal fee. She wanted to do it a lot less, at a ridiculous rate. And then on top of that, she wasn't, we didn't have an agreement on obviously the business side of stuff of music. So I was like, I don't think I should be involved with this, because I know that already I can already see red flags. And I think sometimes when we work with people, sometimes they're showing us red flags from the very beginning. And you have to then make a decision on, okay, am I going to work with this person, knowing fully well that this may be a problem down the line? So I think also it's about being able to just look at something from what it is. When people present themselves to you, don't be deceived that there's something different. Just if they present themselves a certain way, just take them for what they've said or for how they presented themselves. So yeah, that's one experience. But to be honest, I don't get it a lot. The other experience I've had was when an artist came to me that wasn't ready. And when I say wasn't ready, like vocally, they were not mature enough yet to sing. They had only been singing in their church background. They've never even led like praise and worship, for example, in church. And I was like, yeah, this person's not ready. And my advice to that kind of person, because one, I want to see you do your best. I just said to them, go for vocal coaching. Go for, a couple months or even a year. When you're ready, come back. Because then you'll be able to deliver something. Because one thing I would not want to do is spend hours trying to tweak that person's voice with auto-tune to make them sound great. But when they go and sing live, they sound horrible. And then people start to think, well, hold on, this is the record that we heard. And it sounds amazing, sounds really, really good. But you can't actually deliver the same thing live. And what that then teaches me or teaches them is that I'm doing them an injustice by, in a sense, painting a picture that doesn't really exist.
But let me cut you right there.
Yeah, go for it.
What if, yes, because you just said something, your advice to such an artist would be, go and get a vocal coach.
Yeah.
Go for a training, perhaps 6 months and all of that. What if peradventure the guy refuses, or the person refuses, like, no, I want this, and is ready to pay you whatever fee you are going to collect?
My name is far more important than any fee, to be honest. My name is far more important. So I know already that, that's not going to really, I'm not going to be happy, because I'm not the kind of producer that, I know some producers that will just take jobs and they don't put their name on it, or they'll dissociate themselves away from that project. I don't do that. The projects I work on, I'm glad to and happily hold my chest and say, yeah, I worked on this, because I know that I delivered my best in that project. So if that was the case and the person was adamant that no, they feel they're ready, then I'll just say, I'm sorry, maybe I could recommend somebody else that would do this for you, but I can't do this until I feel that you are at this place to do this record. Then again, it's just that's my opinion. They may go to somebody else who may feel differently and then do the record for them, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, that's my own opinion. I don't feel like that person's ready. So
beautiful. I want to ask another question, and that would be the foundation of all of this, So what are the things you as a producer feel every single artist should know before they come, or before coming to record?
Okay, cool. Perfect. And can I don't know if your show is mainly had viewers of a Christian background, or is it just open to all?
It's open. This is open to all.
Okay, cool. Now, if it's from at least from a Christian perspective, obviously I'll say that you have to ask God first before you even come, and you should get that conviction that this is what you're meant to do, if it's in that context. Now, if it's out of that, let's say, for example, you're doing a record that's not necessarily a Christian record or anything like that, then I would say then you'd need, you need to at least have an idea what the song is about. Because I've had sessions whereby, artists have come in, they have no idea what they want to sing. They just want to come to the studio and record, but record what? So come prepared, come knowing, okay, this is a song I have in mind. This is a song that's been laid in my heart that I want to sing, that I want to produce. Coming prepared, being organized from the very beginning. I'd also say another thing as well, which I know you touch on in another series, will be understand a bit about the music process, the music business process. And I'll tell you why I say that. A lot of artists have, unrealistic expectations. They come and say, okay, yes, I'll come and spend all this money on getting a song done. But the song is going to be great, but no one's ever going to hear it because you haven't thought about marketing and promoting. Not because, and don't get me wrong, I know that some people will say, but I'm not interested. I don't want to be seen as a secular thing or money. No, it's not that. But the thing is, if we don't it's like, for example, having a diamond and it lives inside the dirt, no one's ever going to see it. But putting that diamond on a windowsill in a shop, the world can see it. And that's the way you have to look at promotion and marketing. It needs, in a sense, I always advise artists to have, if not more, if not almost twice the amount of money you put into the production for the marketing and promoting, because you've got to look at it this way. The amount of songs that are released on Spotify a day is at least over 40,000 to 60,000 a day. How do you cut through so that everyone, at least so your song can be reached? Because I know sometimes people will say, oh, don't worry. At least for those of us that are Christian will say, God will do it. Yeah, he will, but is he going to come down and do it? He's going to use people to do it and systems to do it. So we have to think about those kind of things. What is your marketing plan with the song? Don't just come and do a recording and then blame the producer or blame the producer and say that after the song is done, I didn't get anywhere with this song. It didn't go anywhere. So it's having that understanding that when you come to a studio recording, what is your project plan for this whole entire song, from the musical aspect to your artwork to your distribution, all of those. You may not even have all of it in place, but try and just do some research, try and find some information, and then obviously ask your producer or find a consultant who can help you. I hope that kind of answers your question.
Beautiful. Perfectly beautiful. You oh my God, you talked about yes. I don't want to forget. So let me ask it. Yes, having a plan before coming.
Yeah.
Know what you want. So, for instance, because I have seen cases where the singers, you don't have no lyrics. You don't have any lyrics at the moment, but you want to produce something, and then you go to the producer. Okay, I think there's a kind of flow. Just create a flow, a certain beat, and let me go backwards, to work on it, to get something. Maybe by the time I listen over and over again, something may come up.
Yeah, do that in the writing session. That could be done in the writing session. The producer can make a beat, and this is why I feel like songwriting is meant to be a collaborative process. It's not necessarily meant to be this whole isolation thing whereby I work in my own space, you work. If we want it to be great, like they said, two heads are better than one. Then it's about two forces coming together and trying to allow ideas. Because I feel like even during COVID, it was a bit difficult to, to really do that really well. But when obviously things are getting a bit better now, when you have artists in a session with you, the ideas that you get in person are not the same ideas I can get on Zoom or over a call like this. When that person's here and in the same environment, there's just something special that just comes out of that interaction. So it's about, working together. I always foster working together. Can I just say one more thing on that?
Sure.
If the artist and this is it, and I don't know, this may be a bit controversial, but there are artists who I believe aren't gifted with a skill of songwriting. If you're not gifted with the skill of songwriting, doesn't mean you can't be a recording artist.
Yeah.
Because there are loads of recording artists out there that don't even write their own song, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Then I think it also comes from that place of understanding that, okay, maybe I'm not gifted in this. Maybe I need to have a songwriter on my team that helps me write the songs I have in mind, or helps me in that process. Because a producer can do that too if he's also gifted in writing lyrics. And just understand that, okay, I'm not necessarily a songwriter, but when it comes to then that song being delivered live or on the record, I can do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, very true. I agree with that. Very true. Whoa. So we're going to take one more break and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. We still have one or two questions to ask and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to play you another song done by Femi as well. So listen and be blessed. Don't go anywhere. Stay in. We'll be right back.
I need a stirring up right now, stirring up that empowers, stirring up in my midnight hour. I was not built to break or fall. I was not built to fall. I need a stirring up right now, stirring up that empowers. For me to get encouraged and get charged right out. It's time for me to take the bull by the horn, find the victory and keep burning on. I need a stirring up right now. Stirring up. Stirring up in the midnight hour. I was not built to break or fall. Pandemic recession, where do I go? I'm pulling out my hair 'cause I am on the down low. But here's the good news, sleep is only for the night. Joy comes in the morning, I got to think right. Yeah. Stirring up that empowers, stirring up in the midnight hour. 'Cause
Searchlight with Joy on
AP Radio UK.
Heart Song Live Radio.
and MZ Radio London.
Wow. You're welcome back to Searchlight with Joy on MZ Radio London and also AP Radio UK and at some Live Scotland. I want to quickly say thank you to everyone watching on Facebook and also those listening via the radio app. I want to say thank you for tuning in and for watching as well. And also to the management of MZ Radio London, AP Radio UK, and also at Song Live Scotland. I want to say thank you for your platform. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate you. Okay, back to you. Femi, okay, so I often hear producers say, things like, yeah, this singer, this person doesn't even appreciate, me for what I did, stuff like that. They've not even said thank you. They're just condemning the song already. I didn't do this part, I didn't do that thing. Okay. So for you, what is the most important thing you would appreciate from an artist towards you?
What's the most important thing? Probably just respecting the time that we share to do the, in our sessions. Obviously coming on time, being on time, being early, just keeping their end of the deal. So if, for example, we agreed on a certain amount, keeping to that amount. If we're getting on a payment schedule, keeping to that, I guess, stuff like that. But to be honest, to answer your question even deeper, I feel the job of a producer is almost a thankless one, in a sense. We are not, really ever thanked, which is part of the thing we need to get used to, because if you think about it, the amount of songs that are out there that are amazing songs, who do you think about first? You think about the artist first. It's not, oh my God, that song was produced by this guy or produced by this woman. That's not the first thought. So being a producer, in this industry, you have to understand that you are behind the scenes, and you have to be comfortable that if you want to be someone that's always seen and always thanked and always glorified, then maybe you shouldn't be a producer. Maybe you should be an artist. Maybe because you should be it's true, because this job is not the kind of job whereby we're always going to be mentioned or always going to be thanked. We're the ones that make things happen behind the curtains, period. So that's just the truth. That's just the way I say it. I don't really get quite upset about stuff like that. If, for example, someone has released a song that we worked on together and I produced, if they don't mention my name, they don't thank me, not a problem. It's not the end of the world, but I know they always say I had an input into that. So
wow.
You're laughing.
But there's no way you produce a song. I mean, and then the artist, won't include the producer's name. I really don't know.
It happens. Sometimes it happens. Trust me, I know.
It's either the song is not, I don't know, maybe too nice, or it didn't come out good.
But if it didn't come out good, then why would they release it? That's another question, I would say. But hey, everybody is entitled to what. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna ask this, okay, as well. Most artists feels producers are very expensive. And so it's very difficult to produce their songs, especially singers that are not known, they don't have a name yet. And then they're coming to the studio, the producer is calling such an amount, and they're like, I don't even know if after producing this song, it's going to even, the commercial aspect, what will come out of this after producing it and all of that, so for you, really, is it about the money for you or the final result of the production? What is it really?
For me, it's never about the money, because I can tell you for free, there's artists I've worked with who when I think about it, like the fee I even charge now, this is just me being honest up front, the fee I charge now is very small for what I actually give the artist back in return. I work up with the artist for, whether it's 1 or 2 months on their song. I even coach them on production, on marketing and promotional stuff they need to do for this song to get out so people can hear it. Yeah. And obviously, I'm not the kind of producer that once you come to me, one session, and that session, you have to do all your recording and then I chuck you away. No. You come back as many times until we feel like it's done. And that's what I was saying to you, that I feel like the production process is not a 1 week process. It's not like, if you're doing it properly, it's not something that you just do today on Monday and on Friday we're done. Unless you're working every single day with an experienced artist and you two get super experienced, then sure. But it's a process. It's not experience as a marathon, in the sense that it's a journey, and you can hear it in songs that you can tell that they've taken their time, they've slow cooked this song. Not that this was a microwave, a microwave song. You can hear it. So for me, as I said, going back to your question, it's never about the money, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel if I should command what I feel I should command, people will run. And like I said, it's not about, I don't do this because this has to, the money that comes from this has to be the one to buy me a house, to buy me a mansion. No, I do because I love to do it. I love to see artists who have a strong idea or an initial ideas. I like to see how we can take that and let other people be blessed by that in whatever form. So that's, for me, I'm motivated by the art, not by the money. I'll be honest with you, in the past I was highly motivated by the aspect of, I need to make money from this. And I won't lie to you, it didn't do me any favors. And I feel like with music, you can't really do it from that perspective of, you must make me money. And yes, it should make you money, but if that's your main focus, you're already on the wrong track. It shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that. I have one more question, more to ask you before I let you go. And yes, we have 5 minutes to go, but I'm going to quickly answer that in less than 2 minutes. So a singer comes to you to say they want to record a song, but they don't have the recording fee, and I want to record. That's something on the inside of me that I feel that needs to come out. And they know that, and you listen to it, and you know also that this is a very good song. What do you do?
There's many things you can do. Many things I would do in that scenario. If they haven't got a recording fee, then we can have a payment plan. Like a lot of people do that. As we mentioned, there's 3 stages in production: pre-production, production, and post-production. At the end of every stage, we can have an agreement that, you pay this amount at every stage. It's not the end of the world. Like, I'm not expecting, even me generally, I don't expect, it's rare that you get an artist that will come and pay the full thing up front. I kind of prefer when they break it up, because it puts pressure on me to make sure that, one, I deliver, and secondly, they also know that they're also invested as well. Now, if it's a serious case whereby they don't have money, my advice would be, you probably need to really save up, because music is an investment. It's not it's not something that you're just, I've had people that have come to me and say, I only have chicken change to pray and I want to get a song done. I'm not the kind of person that can help you deliver that, because what things that I deliver and I work with, I feel are precious things that you are putting out there to the world. So it's also the mindset. I only work on projects that I feel that I can add value to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Payment plan, or they go up and save and then come back, and then we can work on it.
Thank you for all of this. It's such an interesting time and a beautiful conversation here with you. And before we go today, I want to say thank you again, Femi Dada, for coming on this show. I truly appreciate. I've learned 1 or 2 things as well, and I hope those watching on Facebook and that will watch after now or listen after now will be able to pick 1 or 2 from this conversation. And till I come your way again next week with another wonderful producer, I want to say God bless you and have a beautiful week. And I'll see you next week. Femi, you want to quickly say bye-bye?
Take care. Bye, guys.
So, yes. Before I let you go, I'll play you 1 more song from Femi's production, and that is This Christmas. Yes, we have less than how many months to go before Christmas. So Christmas is close. Enjoy this